Welcome to episode 165 of the Hurricane Mike Show, where at least one good thing we can say, at least the Saints are forcing Atlanta to keep their coaches. Because why?
Because we want them around for a while because they suck.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Saints, they're going to win week 18, so it really doesn't, or at least I hope they do. Where do I begin? There's not a main thing. Usually I would ask, what's the main thing? There's not. Everything's the main thing. You go to the Caesars Superdome, and your offense scored 0 points.
3.
At home.
3 points.
The special teams counts for those. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to give Groupie credit. I don't, because he pissed me off. Don't worry, we'll get.
He made one.
Yeah, and he missed 2 others. Anyways, first quarter, Atlanta outscored you 3-0. Second quarter, they outscored you 13-7. Third quarter, ain't no one scoring. Fourth quarter, they outscored you 8-3. Scoring summary. 10:41 left in the first. You had Zane Gonzalez hit a 56-yard field goal so they could go up 3-0. And then with 11:31, Kirk Cousins throws a 9-yard touchdown to a dude named David Sills, who I didn't even know it existed. With 6:41 left, Kirk Cousins threw an interception to Justin Reed, who took it to the house for a pick 6. Woo! I thought, and I actually predicted that because I remember that exact play. I was like, bro, if there's a time for pick 6, now is the time. And then we got the pick 6, and I'm like, am I manifesting it? No. Anyway. So then it was 10-7 after that. Zane Gonzalez hit a 41-yard field goal with 1:56 left to go up 13-7. And they hit a 54-yard field goal with as soon as time expired to go to halftime up 16-7. You see how they're making like constant 50-yard field goals, and our guy can't even make a 30-yarder? Makes no sense, right? With 11:57, Blake Grupe finally got his head out of his ass and hit a 33-yard field goal. 16-10. But then with 11:04 left in the game, Kirk Cousins throws a deep one to Darnell Mooney, and he fried JaQuincy McKinstry like a freaking unseasoned turkey leg and got a 49-yard touchdown out of that. And then they went for 2, and Bijan Robinson ran it in. So they beat us 24-10. Before we get into what each player did, usually I start with the quarterback play, but now I want to start with Blake Grupe today. You have one job. You know what? Let's give a round of applause for one of the best kickers I've ever seen, Blake Grupe. This boy had one job, and he couldn't do it. He don't got to throw. He don't got to catch. He don't got to run. He ain't got to tackle. All he got to do is kick the ball, and he can't do it. He missed not 1, but 2 damn goals. I want this man cut yesterday. But we'll talk about him later. Let's talk about the quarterback play. Tyler Shuck, 30 for 43, 243 yards, 1 interception. Yeah. Man got sacked 5 times and also 74.1 rating. Dad, you remember when you said he wasn't going to get sacked today?
5 sacks ago, yep. I remember that.
Was that before or after you saw Cesar Ruiz was on our team?
That's before I thought Cesar Ruiz was going to have a heartbeat today, but he didn't.
The man's trash, bro. The man literally pushed the dude right into Tyler Shuck. Like, it was in the first quarter. I think it was after our 75-yard kick return that we scored nothing after. I think it was after that Tyler Shuck got sacked because Cesar Ruiz pushed the dude into him. Like, what? You thought having a week to prepare, and Taysom Hill 0 for 2, 39.6 rating, and this dude decided to freaking play volleyball with the football instead of just catching the snaps. I don't know. So what do you have to say about the quarterback play?
Well, first off, I want to say you was wrong about one thing today, earlier. You was wrong about there is a main thing, and let me tell you what the main thing is. The main thing we kind of touched on about Cesar Ruiz. The main thing is this man needs to be investigated. He needs to be investigated because I think he's got a little money on these games. I think he must be shaving points. That's the only thing I could see why you would be throwing lookout blocks. Be like, Tyler, look out. Anyway, so the quarterback play, I mean, I'm going to give Tyler Shuck a pass because he's playing behind Cesar Ruiz and that offensive line is not even healthy. But even if they were healthy, I was doing this today. I was making a mental list of things that need to be done in the offseason. And I'm saying, okay, our offensive line needs to get healthy. But even if they get healthy, we need 2 starting guards next year. I mean, Cesar Ruiz is trash. And, so, I mean, we need to start there. Even though, like a top 5 pick, you usually don't pick guards that high. We'll probably want to pick like the best wide receiver or something like that. But, yeah, guards are happening. I mean, we got to draft some guards, my brother.
That when you said Cesar Ruiz is trash, I can't even begin to explain how disrespectful that is to the trash can.
I'm
He did
sorry,
not
trash
mean it.
can.
He did not mean it. No, that's not even disrespectful to Cesar Ruiz. That's disrespectful to the trash, bruh. Like this man, we went up some Saints fans in a little room talking about how everything is a quarterback problem. Look, I do agree with pulling the plug on Rattler because Shuck at least does throw the ball down the field. But I'm gonna say the same thing I've been saying for weeks now. It's not a quarterback issue. It does not matter who's your starting quarterback. It doesn't matter if it's Rattler. It doesn't matter if it's Shuck. It doesn't matter if it's prime Tom Brady, prime Drew Brees, prime Joe Montana. The offense is going to be trash. You know why? Because you decided, Mickey Loomis, to trade a 4th-round pick for Devon Belly. But last year, you got Mickey Loomis saying, smacking a little gum, man, it's not all about the results. So the result, and then this man does not take accountability whatsoever. So he thinking everything else is the problem. When you're the problem, Loomis, you're the reason we came up with Peyton Turner in the 1st round and Isaiah Foskey in the 2nd round. You're the one who keeps trading away draft picks for a freaking Devon Belly. You're the one who signed Derek Carr $150 million. You're the one drafting offensive linemen in the 1st round every year, and they always turn out to be busts.
You know what's a good show idea?
What?
You should have like the top 20 boneheaded decisions by Mickey Loomis. I think we could come up with 20 of them. Go from 20 down to 1. Like we could rank them. That would be a good show.
Yeah, we might do that in the off season because we're busy this time of year. But man, like, bro, you're the one that decided to cut Trey Hendrickson. Let him go for nothing. You're the one that signed Brandon Cooks for $12 million just to cut him 11 weeks later. You're the one that drafted Tyler Shuck in the 2nd round and decided not to draft a single receiver in any of the draft rounds. You're the one that is talking about giving Olave $70 million to drop everything. You're the one that hired Dennis Allen.
Juwan Johnson.
Man, you're the one that picked Blake Groupie over Will Lutz. But it's somehow everybody else's fault except his. Let's talk about this running game. Because when Tyler Shuck is your leading rusher, you know you're doing something wrong. Tyler Shuck, 7 carries, 22 yards, 3.1 yards a carry, as long as of 11. Devin Neal, 7 carries, 18 yards, 2.6 yards a carry, as long as it was a 6. Taysom Hill, this man ran the ball 10 times for 17 yards, 1.7 yards a carry, and 4 was his longest. Mason Tipton, 1 carry for 11 yards, 11 yards a carry, 11 yards being his longest. Alvin Kamara, 3 carries, 11 yards, 3.7 yards a carry, 5 being his longest. He got hurt. But I want to say something that a lot of Saints fans aren't going to like. And I don't care if you like it or not. Alvin Kamara, he is 100% washed.
I knew you was going to say that.
This man fumbled the ball almost every game. But just like Groupie be missing field goals every game, this man be fumbling. Like, I understand he's hurt, but even if he wasn't hurt, what is he going to do? The man can't run. I don't know whose fault I don't know if I should be blaming him or freaking Cesar Ruiz or Penn. Well, Penny's not even on the team no more. But it's like, I don't know what to say about this running game. Like, bro, our leading rusher was Tyler Shuck, and he ran for 22. When your quarterback, if your quarterback is not named Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen or anybody like that, they should not be nowhere near your leading rusher. So, how do you feel about the running game? And being watched.
What running game? There was no running game. I mean, Neal made a couple decent plays where you could see the talent and say, okay, that's exciting for the future. Especially in the pass game, he caught the ball a few times out the backfield, but other than that, there was no running game. So we could just move on because there's nothing to talk about.
Yeah, the running game's trash. And you know what's also trash? This receiving game, man. Chris Olave. 13 targets, 9 receptions, 70 yards, 7.8 yards a catch, as long as being a 16-yard reception. And this man let another touchdown slip through his fingers.
Ooh.
And yet we're about to extend him for whatever reason. Okay. Juwan Johnson was targeted the ball 7 times and caught 6 of them to his credit. 46 yards, 7.7 a catch, and 16 being his longest. Devin Neal targeted the ball 7 times. Got 5 receptions out of that. 43 yards, 8.6 yards a catch, and 18 being his longest. Devon Vele. He used a 4th and a 7th for Vele. Just to throw him the ball 7 times and for him to only catch 3 of them for 37 yards. 12.3 yards a catch and 14 his longest. Mason Tipton targeted the ball 4 times, got 3 catches for 22 yards, 7.3 yards a catch, and longest being a 9-yard gain. Dante Pettis targeted the ball 1 time for 1 catch for 14 yards a catch, and 14 being his longest reception. Jack Stoll targeted 1 time for 1 reception, 7 yards a catch, and 7 being his longest. Alvin Kamara targeted 2 times for 2 catches for 4 yards, 2 yards a catch, and 2 being his longest. And Foster Moreau was targeted 1 time but couldn't catch a thing. And he dropped the ball too. It wasn't like it was an overthrow or anything. No, that man dropped the ball. You know what I also noticed? Why were we playing so much check down Charlie?
Because we have no receivers. I mean, we have Chris Olave, then we had just a bunch of unproven guys. So, like I said during the pregame show, I mean, there's no real receiver after Olave really to throw the ball to. So, the tight ends are going to have to come to play. Did they come to play today? Juwan Johnson, 6 catches, and that's about it. And Foster Moreau, he can't catch nothing now either. So, no, they didn't come through like I said they should come through.
These receivers, man, they just suck, bro. We better draft at least 2 receivers next in the draft. With our 7 draft picks. Whatever. Let's talk about this defense, though. The defense, it was not terrible. But there are some guys on this defense that is terrible. Demario Davis not being one of them. The man got 6 tackles for 5 assists. Good job, Demario. You actually did your job today. Alontae Taylor, 5 tackles, 1 assist. He could have been better. Jonas Sanker, 4 tackles, 3 assists. And apparently he's top 5 in safety missed tackles, which I was surprised by. Justin Reed, 3 tackles, 4 assists, and got an interception. This was the only dude that decided to score a touchdown today. Cameron Jordan, 2 tackles, 1 sack, and even 1 forced fumble. He's doing what he usually does against Atlanta. Chris Trump, second, 2 tackles. JaQuincy McKinstry is who I want to talk to. 2 tackles. JaQuincy. Atlanta gets the ball. You're down by 6. If you get a stop, you're not going to win because your offense can't do nothing. But, something good happening. Why? And for the people in the back that can't hear me, why did you get rubbity-dub-dub-dub chicken waved cooked by a dude named Darnell Mooney?
You know what his new name is, don't you? It's not JaQuincy anymore.
Sour Patch?
No. It's Toast.
Toast.
He gets burnt like toast.
Bruh. This, why do the Saints players not want to win? This is why some people think football's scripted. Because there's no way you can be this stupid on accident. Ain't no way you can be this stupid on accident, bruh. Ain't no way Taysom Hill should be your entire offense when you get to the goal line. Ain't no way JaQuincy or Sour Patch, man, I'm gonna call him Sour Patch now because he is sour and he's putting me inside of he's putting a patch on my heart right now watching this dude. I'm pretty sure Stevie Wonder could do a better job than that. And the dude can't see. But yeah, Isaiah Stallbird, 2 tackles, 1 assist, 1 sack because he literally turned into a bird. No pun intended, but Isaiah Stallbird turned into a bird. This man jumped right on top of Kirk Cousins, right over him too. Brian Brzee, 1 tackle, 1 assist, didn't do nothing all day. Pete Werner, 1 tackle, 1 assist. Chase Young, 1 tackle, 3 assists, and a sack. It's not fair for Chase. Chase was balling, but it doesn't matter when no matter how good you play, the team hates you. DeLon Gottschalk, 1 tackle. Quincy Riley, 1 tackle. Danny Stutzman, 1 tackle, 2 assists. Jonathan Bullard, 1 assist. Nathan Shepard, 2 assists. Never mind. Carl Granderson, 1 assist. Jonah Williams, 1 assist, and that's it. So how do you feel about the most pathetic defense I've ever seen in my life? Mainly 3 guys. Enough to tear it down.
I saw a lot of missed tackles today, bro. And a lot of missed tackles against people we normally depend on, like Pete Werner. He missed a couple of them. Those safeties missed a couple of them. So I don't know what we have to do. We have to go back to training camp, teach these guys how to tackle.
Nah, these dudes need to get sent back to the daycare to learn how to tackle permanently. These defensive guys, man. Going into the season, I thought the defense could at least show us something, but nope. Brandon Staley, I don't know what. How do you have 2 weeks to prepare for this, and this is the bull crap? It's 2nd and 24, and you let Bijan get the first down by himself. It makes no sense. You make Kirk Cousins look like a viable quarterback today. Kirk Cousins, you literally have to call that man daddy at this point. Guess who is the only team to lose to Kirk Cousins in a playoff game? The Saints. Yep. Your story. I know, Saints playoffs, right? I know. It was news to me too. I thought we never made the playoffs. Yeah, it's news to me too. Did we really win that Super Bowl in 2010, or was it just a freaking dream? Because there's no way that this team has a Lombardi to its name.
That was another life, bro.
Yeah. Nah, bro. At least Atlanta can. At least good news for us. At least, even though Atlanta beat us, at least they get a worse draft pick and they get to keep their coaches. So that's something. But yeah, let's talk about Atlanta's kick return game. And hey, at least Tampa Bay's game blown out, so that's nice. Let's talk about our kick return. Dante Pettis, 2 returns for 48 yards, 24 yards return, longest being 25 yards. Mason Tipton had 1 kick return for 75 yards, and you still couldn't score because you got Blake Groupie. But yeah, and Dante Pettis also had 3 punt returns for 10 yards. Blake Groupie. I mentioned this earlier, and I'm going to mention it again until you're off this team. 1 for 3. 33%. Long as being a 33-yard man, a lot of threes, bro. What? You want to freaking become a number 3? He was 1 for 1 on extra points. Good for him, and scored 4 points. Good job, Groupie. Good job on running your way out the league. Because I swear, if we bring you back next year, fire Mickey Loomis on the spot. Because, man, you know it's not going to happen. You know why it's not going to happen? Because, bro, I'm convinced Gail Benson has to be sleeping with Mickey Loomis at this point. Because there's no way that you bring him back over and over. And this is the product you're getting. You're playing against your number 1 hated rival, and yet you're still getting killed. Kai Kroger had 3 punts for 106 yards, 35.3 yards a punt, 1 inside the 20, and 39 being songs. So how you feel about the non-special team unit today?
Well, it was nice to see Mason Tipton break that long run, but the special team story all boils down to that one dude, that one little midget, that one little 6th grade looking non-kicking the ball dude. Blake
The
Groupie.
dude is smaller than Bryce Young.
If he's on the team by this time tomorrow, I'd be very surprised. I mean, Sean Payton would have done away with this dude a long time ago. I mean, Sean Payton didn't have no patience with no kickers. Kellen Moore, I guess he's got a little more patience. I don't know.
Nah, bro. You see, that's why a lot of people don't like coaches like Sean Payton because they're too arrogant, they're too mean. I want a coach that's mean. I want a coach where they put you through the fire every practice. Man, I was watching one video. It was a skit. It wasn't real. But I was watching this video where a guy fumbled the ball in the championship game. They still won that game, but the almost lost. So the coach made him do up downs. That's not the craziest part, though. He was still doing them by the next school year. That means he was doing them like he was doing them up downs for the rest of his life. Said by the coach. We need coaches like that where if you make one mistake, you gotta freaking run, bro. I don't care, man. Like you gotta do up downs for the rest of your life or something. I don't know. Like, bro, you gotta stop doing it. Like Kellen Moore, put on your balls, man. Like put some balls on yourself, bro. It's like it does like look, and I still like Kellen Moore. I think he could be a good coach. But and I said I was gonna give him 1, maybe 2 years. But one thing I will say though, you have to grow a pair. And you have to grow them today. I don't want to see Kai Kroger hit the field one more time. I don't care if it's 4th and 85. You better be going for it. Now let's talk about Atlanta. Kirk Cousins, 16 for 23, 199 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, got sacked 3 times, and had a 107.0 rating. So how you feel about Kirk Cousins today?
Well, he did what he had to do, but I mean, I'm not a big Kirk Cousins hater, you know? I mean, yeah, he plays for Atlanta, but he's been a serviceable quarterback in this league for many years. And I told you a couple weeks ago that I think he's better than Michael Penix. I don't like Michael Penix. And so I think we probably would have done better if Michael Penix was playing today. But no, so Kirk carved us up. We didn't have no answer. He definitely exposed toast out there on an island. So that's it. How you feel about him?
This is how I feel.
Nice.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Just being a statue because that's the Saints. Every time they see Kirk. Let's talk about the running game. The running game didn't even kill us. I still don't like. we were focused on stopping the run. Well, no, we needed to apparently focus on Kirk as well because, bro, I don't understand what their problem is. Brandon Staley, why is it so difficult for you to come up with a productive game plan? Let's talk about Atlanta's running attack, the thing that they actually had. Bijan Robinson, 14 carries for 70 yards, 5 yards a carry, and as long as it was a 32-yard run. Tyler Algier, 12 carries for 44 yards, 3.7 yards a carry, and 13 being his longest. Kirk Cousins even had 2 carries for 5 yards, 2.5 yards a carry, and 6 being his longest. And Felipe Franks, 1 carry for 2 yards, 2 yards a carry, and longest run being a 2-yard gain. So how do you feel about the Atlanta running game against us today?
I mean, we really held the running game in check, other than that one 32-yard game that was like a second and 20 something.
24.
If it wasn't for that, they would have no running game to speak of. So give out our defensive line props for that. But that one run really hurt us there, gave them momentum, and they went down and did what they had to do. So,
Yeah. The offensive line didn't do bad today. Let's talk about the Atlanta receiving game now. Darnell Mooney came back to New Orleans. He played college at Tulane. So, Darnell Mooney had 3 receptions for 74 yards, 24.7 yards a catch, 1 touchdown, longest being a 49-yard catch, and had 3 targets. So he caught every single ball. Bijan Robinson had 2 targets for 2 catches, 37 yards, 18.5 yards a catch, and longest reception being a 32-yard gain. Kyle Pitts, 5 targets for 2 catches, 25 yards, 12.5 yards a catch, and 23 being his longest. He also had a bad drop early in the game, but it doesn't matter when you're going up against the Saints. Charlie Warner had 3 targets for 3 receptions, 24 yards, 8 yards a catch, longest reception being an 18-yard gain. Dylan Drummond had 3 targets for 3 catches, 18 yards, 6 yards a catch, and his longest reception being a 9-yard gain. David Stills, 3 targets, 2 receptions, 16 yards, 8 yards a catch, 1 touchdown. Longest reception being that 9-yard touchdown. And Tyler Algier had 1 target for 1 reception, 5 yards a catch, and 5 being his longest reception. So how do you feel about the Atlanta receivers against the Saints defense today?
well, I mean, just like the running game, only one guy really killed us in the receiving game. That's Darnell Mooney. But a little fun fact here: Bijan Robinson had a 32-yard catch as well. He had a 32-yard run and a 32-yard catch is his longs today. That's pretty interesting. But other than that, they really didn't have any other offense besides Bijan Robinson and Mooney.
Yeah, it was just pathetic out there, you know. Like Pete Werner, he could have gotten an interception if he was looking at the football instead of trying to tackle Kyle Pitts when he already dropped the ball. The ball went right through Pete Werner's hands too. Let's talk about Atlanta's defense now. D. Alford, 9 tackles, 1 assist, and 1 fumble recovery. Kaden Ellis, former Saint, 7 tackles, 2 assists, and also injured Kamara on a hip drop tackle that was not called. Devon Diablo had 6 tackles and 2 assists. Jesse Bates III, 6 tackles, 1 assist. Mike Hughes had 6 tackles. Xavier Watts, 5 tackles, 1 assist, and 1 interception at the end of the game. A.J. Terrell Jr., 3 tackles. Brandon Dorless had 2 tackles, 2 assists, and 1.5 sacks. David Onyemata, former Saint, had 2 tackles, 1 assist. James Pierce Jr., 1 tackle, 1 assist, and 1.5 sacks. LaCale London had 1 tackle. Ronnie Harrison Jr., 1 tackle. Contavious Street, also a former Saint, had 1 tackle and 4 assists. Farouk Ohoro had 1 tackle and 1 sack. Jalen Walker, 1 tackle, 1 sack. Leonard Floyd, 1 tackle and 2 assists. And Arnold Ebiketie had 1 assist. So how do you feel about the Atlanta defense against the Saints?
Well, the defense only gave up 3 points, but I mean, this is one of those things where were the defense playing great, or were we just playing that bad? I don't know. I got to think about that for a while. But giving up only 3 points, I mean that's getting it done. No matter who you're playing, no matter what game, what your record is. I mean, so they really did a number on the Saints offense today.
Yeah, and Atlanta, they play the Jets on Sunday, so yeah. But yeah, um, I just don't know how to even talk about the Saints at this point. Like the Atlanta defense, I mean, it's pretty easy to get a sack when Cesar Ruiz is basically your freaking escort. He's like, here we have Tyler Shock. We usually sell them for about $250 million, but you can have them for free here. Just take it. Take this display. Usually it's only display only, but you can not only touch it, you could also tackle it if you may, because Caesar Salad can't block a single thing. Anyways, let's talk about Atlanta's special teams unit because they know how to do their thing. Jamal Agnew had 2 kick returns for 74 yards, 37 yards of return, longest being a 39-yard return. Dylan Drummond had 1 kick return for 25 yards, 25 yards of return, and longs being a 25-yard gain. Jamal Agnew also had 1 punt return for 5 yards, 5 yards of return, longs being 5 yards. Zane Gonzalez was 3 for 3, 100%. Longs was a 56-yarder and was 1 for 1 on extra points and scored 10 points today, which was the same amount of points that we scored all day. And punting the ball, Bradley Pinion was literally pinning us as he had 5 punts for 210 yards, 42 yards a punt, 3 inside the 20, longest punt being a 48-yard punt. You're telling me Atlanta has a kicker that can make 3 50-yard field goals look like they're freaking 30-yarders, and yet our guy can't even make a 30-yarder. How do you feel about Atlanta's special teams unit today?
Well, just like you said, it just lets us know how far away we are from having good kickers and good special teams units. So they did what they had to do, and But look at the bright side. Yeah, they may have won the battle today, but we are going to win the war. Why is that? Because first off, they don't even have a first round pick, do they?
They don't.
So their second round pick is getting pushed down as much as every win they get a lower second round pick. So keep on winning, Falcons. Keep on winning. Y'all not going to the playoffs this year, and y'all getting sucky draft picks.
Yeah, I just hope we can beat them in week 18 so I don't have to do the dirty bird dance, but But yeah, Saints lose by 14. Let's go over team stats before we get up out of here. Saints, 293 total yards, 214 passing, 79 rushing. They averaged 3.8 yards per play. They had 21 first downs. They were 5 for 16 on third downs, 2 for 5 on fourth downs. They ran 78 total plays, only scoring 10 points. They allowed 5 sacks. They punted the ball 3 times, committed 4 penalties for 36 yards, lost a fumble, threw an interception, had the ball for 32 minutes and 51 seconds. They made 32 tackles, and they were 1 for 3 on field goals and 0 for 3 inside the red zone. Atlanta, they had 302 total yards, 181 passing, 121 rushing, 5.5 yards per play, 13 first downs. They were 3 for 12 on third downs, 1 for 1 on fourth downs, ran 55 total plays to our 78. They allowed 3 sacks. They punted the ball 5 times, committed 9 penalties for 82 yards. They threw an interception. They had the ball for 27 minutes and 9 seconds. They made 53 tackles. They were 3 for 3 on field goals, and they were 1 for 2 inside of the red zone. So, anything else you would like to add?
Nah, I mean, we pretty much destroyed them on time of possessions and plays, ran, and still we lose by 14 points. I mean, only the Saints, bro. Only the Saints.
Only the Saints, man. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, what?
Don't eat the paper.
Wasn't planning on it. But yeah, so there was nothing really to say. I mean, hopefully we can win week 18. Hopefully Atlanta's resting all their guys, and that just allows the Saints to win. Because like I said, Atlanta they can celebrate all they want, but have you seen our record? That this beating us by 14 points is like beating a 95-year-old man in a wheelchair in a pickup basketball game. It's like, are you really celebrating that?
And we only have 6 more games to go. So,
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. I mean, I would never say I'm not a tank guy. I'm never gonna say let's tank, let's lose all these games. No, but if we go on a winning streak and win 6 in a row, and our record ends up being 8-9, we ain't going to the playoffs. I mean, so and we're gonna have like the 17th pick in the first round. I mean, so it may be better, maybe a blessing in disguise is what I'm trying to say. That we lose to the Falcons now, and we lose a couple more games, maybe. I don't know. But just like the Steelers, I mean, they keep saying Tomlinson never had a losing season. Well, all that's saying is he wins 9 games a lot. I mean, so what?
Yeah. It's just, I don't even, like, obviously I want to be Atlanta, but I'm just so done at this point. Like, it really doesn't even bother me that anymore. But before we get out of here, why don't we talk about some? So, how do you feel about LSU potentially hiring Lane Kiffin?
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I haven't really been a big Lane Kiffin fan. I just don't like the guy's attitude. He comes off as a jerk half the time. But if he's on my side, it'll probably be different. I might be, yay, Lane, let's go.
Yeah, get on the Lane train. But yeah, do you have anything else to add for us?
Nope, I'm good.
All right, with that, where can they find you?
Mic'd up YouTube, Mic'd up sports, and on Hurricane Mike Show every week.
You can also find me at Hurricane Mike, Kyle Phelps, and Keeping It Real Who That Sports Podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, turn the bell on so you don't miss another upload. And we leave them as always with a who dat, and don't be a what?
Don't be a Falcons fan, or you won't have a first round pick.
Yeah.